In the back of the envelope best estimate I have, the first earthquake was estimated to cost somewhere between $6 and $8 billion. That was covered through a $1.5 billion payment under EQC, a $2.5 billion recourse to refinances or reinsurers overseas, and then the additional cost being borne either by private insurance companies or the government itself. We don't know the scale yet of the second earthquake, but we do know it will be treated as a separate event. In other words, the best advice I've had, $1.5 billion from EQC, a further $2.5 billion from reinsurance overseas, and then the balance to be borne by the private insurers or ourselves. So we can afford that, but obviously that's a significant dent in the resources of both EQC and a significant impact on the reinsurers to the tune of $5 billion. Sorry, one at a time if you can, Duncan. Well, I can't rule those numbers out. No one's in a position to actually assess that. I mean, you'll remember when the first earthquake took place, there were initial numbers that were at $2 billion, then it went to $4 billion. The advice we had from Treasury is maybe $6 to $8 billion. My guess is they probably just doubled what we've seen. What we do know is that we think there may be another 100,000 claims. There were 180,000 claims, I think, in the first earthquake. We know that different properties have been affected. So some properties, for instance, that had no impact at all in the last earthquake have been severely damaged. But it's the central CBD district where a significant number of buildings will be destroyed and will have to be rebuilt. This is quite different from the first earthquake, and that feel that you got when you're on the ground there yesterday. It's quite clear that there will be a major rebuild, and the centre of Christchurch will have a very different feel to it in years to come.
Any discussion as to the Gillard State of Australia of some sort of extra tax on New Zealanders outside Christchurch to help pay for it?
We haven't had those discussions. I mean, our hope would be not to have to do that, and that the one thing that helps us in New Zealand is because we have EQC, in a way we pay in through that levy process, and Australia hasn't had that. So in a sense, we've preserved for this, if you like, or preconditioned for this. But look, I mean, we'll have to take some advice on that in due course.